Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about one of Netflix's newer films, A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting. Before we begin, let me know in the comments if you were looking forward to this or what your thoughts were if you've seen it already, and make sure to give this a thumbs up if you like these reviews. It helps me out immensely if you do that. Also, if you're new here and you like movies, whether it be blockbusters, hidden gems, or everything in between, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases and some classics. But now, let's jump right into it. This fantasy comedy stars Tamara Smart as Kelly, a babysitter on a mission to find the child she's caring for after he's been kidnapped by monsters. She soon discovers there's a secret society of children protecting babysitters out there who assist her with getting her child back, all while fighting off an entire world of monsters. This is directed by Rachel Talalay, who also directed the cult film Tank Girl, as well as Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, and it's based on a book of the same name. Though despite that, this actually reminded me of a few other movies I've seen from this year, in particular Disney's Secret Society of Second-Born Royals, as well as Artemis Fowl. Despite being a Netflix movie, this is something that could have easily found its way to Disney+, or could have even been a Disney Channel original movie when those were big. Between the fact there's a secret organization of children who are essentially super spies, along with the fact there's an entire world of monsters, those two films I mentioned immediately come to mind. Though honestly, this will feel very familiar in general. In fact, it's even appropriate this is from the same director as one of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels, as part of the plot involves dreams these kids have actually coming to life because of some of these monsters. This is nothing that's looking to reinvent the wheel, and it doesn't present itself as anything trying to take risks or push any boundaries. It's something just for families to sit back, relax, and have a good time with for Halloween season. And I think it'll succeed there. In fact, this movie's actually a little better than the other kids' movies it reminded me of. Now, I'm not saying it's great, it's extremely cheesy. As I said, you'll be able to recognize a lot of the jokes and the setups as things you've seen a million times before. Most notably, Tamara Smart repeatedly takes calls from the kid's mother, and she has to lie when telling her where she is. And she'll come up with some of the most contrived excuses, and the mother should have seen right through her, but she doesn't, and you'll roll your eyes a few times. But what separates this film from other family movies is that it has a big personality, and as a result can actually be pretty funny at times, even if not consistently. The performances help make this a fairly enjoyable watch. Tamara Smart is very charismatic and makes for a likable lead, and she's joined by Una Lawrence, who plays the main babysitter part of this organization that helps Kelly out. They have good chemistry with each other, and both do a very good job of rolling with the punches as we see them interact with a variety of creatures in this world. But the big standout was Tom Felton, who plays the leader of these monsters and is our main antagonist, and he is fantastic. He was always good at playing very sneering villains or unlikable characters like in the Harry Potter movies and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He was always someone who really gets into his role, and he brings that same energy here, but the twist is he seems to have a hard time getting the kid he captures to do what he wants. He needs him to go to sleep in order to enact his grand plan, and the running gag is that the kid has a difficult time doing so, and it turns into Felton essentially babysitting this kid, trying to find different ways to appease him so he can get to bed faster. And this is where I was laughing out loud the most, especially because Felton's very scene-chewing and very over the top. He constantly brings this energy that puts him at an 11 out of 10. He remains committed the entire time and was easily the brightest spot in this film. And there's an overall feel of wackiness and zaniness to the film in general that added to why I found it a little more enjoyable than some of the other kids' movies it reminded me of. It's very energetic and fast-paced, moving quickly at 94 minutes. And the visuals are very colorful and vibrant, especially as we get introduced to all these different monsters. Though the CGI is unfortunately not all that great. It's probably one of the weakest aspects of the movie. While I like the designs of these monsters, they all look obviously fake, and this seemed to suffer the same problem as a number of family-oriented movies we've gotten this year, where had this been maybe 20 years ago or so, we would have thought of it as a little more impressive, but given how far CGI's come these days, the effects could have been much better. But kids will enjoy it, and that's what this film is primarily for. If I had to guess, they probably didn't make these monsters too realistic because they didn't want to frighten smaller children. If that was the case, I still think they could have polished the effects a little more. However, it captures the feel of children's imaginations very well. It's very frantic and fast-paced, and it has some very funny moments. But if you're outside of that target audience, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. There's only so much aimed at adults. I think there are enough laughs that adults won't dislike it, but it's also so familiar and cheesy that it's pretty obvious they won't get nearly as much out of it as kids will. This isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's first and foremost a kids movie as it tries capturing the feel of children's imaginations run wild between these zany monster designs and the fact it focuses on a secret organization run by kids. A lot of setups will feel familiar, and as a result there's only so much adults will get out of it. But the performances are great, with Tom Felton being the biggest standout, and it has a frantic, energetic pace and enough laughs that it will make for a solid casual watch. This could be a potential Halloween favorite for kids going forward, but nothing beyond that. A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting gets a 6 out of 10. So let me know, have you seen A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you find it funny? Did you enjoy the concept? And what was a scary movie you enjoyed growing up? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you next time.